What if I told you that one of history's most famous queens, an anointed monarch, was legally executed in a cold, calculated plot that shook the entire continent? Imagine a queen, imprisoned for nearly 2 decades, plotting to reclaim her throne, only to face a death sentence that would change royal protocol forever. Mary Stuart, better known as Mary, Queen of Scots, was no ordinary monarch. She ascended the Scottish throne as an infant after the death of her father, James V, in 1542. Her life was one of power, intrigue, and heartbreak, shaped by alliances, betrayals, and the constant threat of political upheaval. By 1567, political turmoil forced her to abdicate in favor of her infant son, James VI. She sought protection and perhaps support from her cousin, Elizabeth I of England, hoping that family loyalty would restore her crown. Instead, she was imprisoned, accused of complicity in her husband Henry Stuart, Lord Darnley's murder, a charge never legally proven, yet enough to spark suspicion that would haunt her for the next 19 years. Elizabeth saw Mary as a threat. Why? Mary was the great-granddaughter of Henry VII of England through Margaret Tudor, giving her a legitimate claim to the English throne. The plot that ultimately sealed Mary's fate is now infamous, the Babington Plot. On 11 August 1586, Mary was caught corresponding with conspirators planning Elizabeth's assassination, believing her letters were private. Mary's secretaries, Claude Now, Gilbert Curle, and Jérôme Pasquier, were taken to London for questioning, unraveling her entire network. Mary's letters clearly indicated she had sanctioned the assassination plot, providing the evidence Elizabeth needed. She was arrested while riding and eventually transported to Fotheringhay Castle after a 4-day journey. By October 1586, Mary stood trial for treason under the Act for the Queen's Safety, before a court of 36 noblemen. The trial itself was a theatre of power. Mary, seated beneath an empty throne representing Elizabeth, denied all charges. She argued she had never been an English subject, had been denied access to legal counsel, and that her papers were unlawfully seized. Her words echoed through history. Look to your consciences and remember that the theatre of the whole world is wider than the Kingdom of England. Despite her eloquence, Mary was convicted on 20 October 1586 and sentenced to death. Only Lord Zouche dissented. Elizabeth hesitated, fearing the repercussions of executing a crowned queen. Would Catholic powers retaliate? Could her own throne be threatened? In the days before her death, Mary's behavior was both dignified and poignant. She gave her son James a portrait that had hung above her bed. She prayed extensively, distributed her possessions, and wrote a final will. Her letters to Henry III of France requested that her servants be cared for and included talismans to protect against illness. On the morning of 8 February 1587, the Great Hall of Fotheringhay Castle was draped in black. A scaffold awaited, with a block, a kneeling cushion, and seats for the witnessing earls. Mary, adorned in crimson velvet, black satin trimmings, and a velvet petticoat, ascended the scaffold with her attendants. She addressed the executioner with remarkable grace. I forgive you with all my heart, for now, I hope, you shall make an end of all my troubles. The execution was not swift. The first strike missed her neck, striking the back of her head. The second severed her neck, except for a small sinew which was quickly cut through. As the executioner lifted her head, it revealed short, grey hair beneath her auburn wig. Even her small dog, hiding among her skirts, witnessed the tragic scene. To prevent relic collection, all blood-stained items and garments were burned immediately. Upon learning of Mary's death, Elizabeth feigned outrage. She claimed her instructions had been ignored, using plausible deniability to distance herself from the act. Poor women led the procession, followed by Scottish attendants and ceremonial banners. Her body was embalmed, with entrails buried secretly at Fotheringhay. A Protestant service was held at Peterborough Cathedral in July 1587. After the union of the crowns in 1603, James VI ordered her body moved to Westminster Abbey, commissioning a grand marble monument. Mary's execution set a shocking precedent. For the first time, an anointed European monarch was legally executed. Her courage, dignity, and tragic downfall have inspired generations of historians, writers, and artists. If you were captivated by Mary's story, don't forget to subscribe to Royal Hidden Stories for more untold secrets from the corridors of castles, the whispers of courts, and the hidden intrigues of history's most fascinating monarchs. Hit the bell so you never miss a royal revelation.